subscribe, comment, hit that like button. This your boy Hoghead with the Haters Real podcast, and we talking about your boy Hurricane Chris. He won that case. It was self-defense, so he won that. No murder charge, no jail time.
Fresh out the shower, we're like an ocean, it's gonna be a problem when I take a shopping. We rockin' designer, might go to the jeweler.
He's at 10, not guilty. That's the decision from a jury in the murder trial of Christopher Dooley. The man known as rapper Hurricane Chris is now cleared of a murder charge tied to a 2020 shooting outside of a Shreveport gas station. We've given you all the first alerts on this murder trial. That shooting happened at the Texaco on Hollywood Avenue. Dooley was also cleared of a charge related to stolen possession of things. You can read our full coverage on this trial right now at KSLA.com and through our
player, girl, you know how players rock. Game, recognized game, and I've been
Now see, this is the prime example that you don't walk up on nobody's car. You don't try to open nobody's car. You don't try to look through the window of nobody's car because you don't know what they got in the car. And if they feel afraid because they don't know who the hell you is, they can't defend themselves because you coming by their property. It's the sad case is that another mother lost her child, but Hurricane Chris, he was in a self-defense situation. But this your boy Hoghead with the Haters Real podcast. Get at your boy. Yeah.
After the fatal incident, Christopher Dooley, also known as Hurricane Chris, was acquitted of a fatal shooting in a Shreveport gas station parking lot. Tonight, we're hearing from families of both sides who squared off inside a Caddo courtroom. It was certainly an emotional week for both families, the Dooley family and the family of Denzaria Ferris, who were stunned by this week's acquittal by a jury. KSLA News 12's Alexandria Savage, the only reporter inside the courtroom throughout this trial, and you've stayed in close contact with both families.
Absolutely. I was there for most of the testimony. We heard from multiple states' witnesses, and we heard from a couple of witnesses from the defense's side as well, Dooley being one of those witnesses. Here's the story. A case of self-defense.
I knew he was fearing for his life, so he would never pull a gun if he was not.
Now 34-year-old Shreveport native Christopher Dooley, better known as Hurricane Chris, shot 32-year-old Denzaria Ferris Jr. at this former Texaco station on Hollywood Avenue in Shreveport.
I was really, like I said, disappointed. I was somewhat mad, but not angry, because to me, I felt like justice was not served.
Mother of the deceased Ferris says she and her family are trying to move forward following the not guilty verdict. Two mothers, two families forever changed after their sons had a brief encounter.
I got the phone call and I rushed to the scene. At first, I didn't know what had happened. My son was in the back of a police car.
The men stood face to face for less than 2 minutes, that interaction resulting in Ferris being killed.
You have your son, you have your grandson, and you have all your family. But I always remember, I'm still missing my son. He can't come back. I can't see him anymore, but you can see yours.
June 19th of 2020, both arrived at the Texaco minutes apart. Ferris approached a vehicle that had been driven by Dooley and opened the Mercedes S-Class door. That car, the state argued, was owned by Dooley's ex-girlfriend. Dooley then approached Ferris and drew his weapon. Dooley is off camera in this frame of the video, but has his weapon drawn and aimed at Ferris. One state's witness spoke about seeing the two men and Dooley looking scared and says he told the clerk there might be a problem outside. Following his purchase, the witness says he returned to his vehicle, and after hearing gunshots, he left the Texaco, he says, trying to put the incident out of his mind. 2023 is the first time authorities reached out to that witness for a statement. Nearly 2 minutes after Dooley and Ferris encountered each other, Dooley fired the weapon, hitting Ferris 6 times, leaving him to bleed out on the ground. Dooley left the Texaco briefly before calling 911 and returned to the Texaco to turn himself in to police on scene. Ferris's mother watched the video with jurors repeatedly during the trial, saying she had to face it. She had this message for Dooley.
I just hope you find in your heart to do right towards everybody.
Throughout the 7 days of testimony, the state called 9 witnesses. A forensic pathologist showed the graphic and gruesome details of Ferris's fatal injuries. He also revealed that Ferris only had caffeine in his system when he died. The defense only called 2 witnesses, including Dooley. During that testimony, he stated, "Yes, I fired the weapon because I was in total fear for my life."
Knowing that you might not walk out with your son was the worst feeling ever. I basically told them we walked in here together and we're gonna all walk out together.
Manifesting the outcome of the trial, not guilty of second-degree murder or possession of stolen things.
I was actually standing down the hall when he came out. He grabbed me, we hugged, and I said, "I get to take my boy home."
Something Ferris's mother unfortunately will never be able to do again, but she's choosing to remember him how he was.
The laughs, the tears, the happy times, the good times, the bad times, the sad times, his voice, the things he did. Yeah, we're not gonna ever forget him.
This incident, but both say they plan to move forward.
Hey, this your boy Hog here with the Hate Is Real podcast. Now let's get into this shit right here. Yeah.